Back in our Media Day special, what a year it was for the Fighting Illini. Not just back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances, but back-to-back top 4 seeds. Won the regular season of the Big Ten. First time that had been done since the great 2005 team. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Less than 17% of the player minutes back from last season, and yet you saw the media poll at the top of the show today. They are picked second place in the league. So, pleased to be joined by Brad Underwood, Coleman Hawkins, and Terrence Shannon. Terrence, welcome to the Big Ten.
Thanks.
Good to have you here. Let's talk about that kind of dichotomy that we have, Coach, and it's going on in a lot of places throughout the country, which is roster turnover and yet really high expectations. How do you build chemistry when your roster turns over to the degree that it has?
Well, I think you got to have high character guys, and you've got to bring in high character guys. We're not going to jeopardize our culture at Illinois. I think we've done that not only with our transfers, with Terrence, with Matthew, with Dane, but I think we've done that with freshmen as well. And then we've got to lean on guys like Coleman. You know, Coleman's in his third year. He knows everything that our culture is about, what we stand for, how we play, what's important to me and our staff, and then he's experienced winning. And so I think it's something that we work really hard on. We know it's going to take a little bit of time, but these guys have all been really bought into each other, and our chemistry's been good. And we'll find out here when we start seeing different colored jerseys.
Coleman, what is the challenge of playing with guys that you haven't played with before?
I think just getting to understand what they do successfully. I think it's been pretty easy so far because, like Coach mentioned, the character of our team. We've all been able to click, and if we're all competitive too, so if there's any back and forth, it never leads to the locker room, it never leads to off the court. We're all a tight bond, so I think it's just been pretty easy so far for us to adjust and adapt to everybody's play style.
Terrence, this is kind of the new day and age in college basketball, right? Going into the portal and finding a place that's maybe a better fit for you. You're from Chicago. What made Illinois the right fit for you?
Well, they recruited me, and Coach Brad, they recruited me since I was in high school. And when I did commit to Texas Tech, they all told me congratulations. It was no bad feelings within it. And when I did enter the transfer portal, we got back in contact, and I felt like our relationship was still good, and we were on good terms, and we went on from there, and I decided to come to Illinois.
So I was reading a little bit about you. You get up at 4:45 in the morning to get shots up.
Yes.
It begs the question, why? I mean, is the basket not there at 5:45 in the morning?
Well, this summer we had the yoga with Coach Fletch, and I wanted to do extra, and it was in the morning, and it started at 6:30. So I would go work out before and shoot before, and I would finish at 6:10. And I just stayed with that routine throughout the whole summer and continue to do it now.
Coleman, what do you think when you hear about a guy getting up at 4:45 in the morning?
Well, he's actually my roommate, one of my roommates. So I've.
So you don't just hear about it; you hear it.
Yeah, I've woken up, but I don't mind it. There's different types of players out there, and Terrence wants to be that beast. So that's his routine. He's stuck with it. You might be different, like me. I think a well-rested night of sleep will help me perform
I'm with
better.
you, Coleman.
So I'll go with the
both.
sleep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Terrence is a hard worker, so, yeah.
The backcourt is a huge unknown to Big Ten fans, right? I mean,
Sure.
we don't know a whole lot about Terrence. Now you can turn on YouTube and you can see how good a player he was at Texas Tech. We don't know about Sky Clark, right? I mean, you can see how good he was in high school. Give us a sense of that backcourt and how it's coming together, because you had some veterans back there last year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very versatile. Obviously, we lose Trent Frazier, and I've said this many times, Trent could have run our practices. Being in the system 5 years, he was reliable, he was dependable. I knew exactly what I was getting with him, and yet I'm equally as excited about this group of freshmen, and we've got 3 or 4 of them that will all play. They'll all help us. Are they going to make some mistakes? Sure. But we've got a guy like Terrence who will slide over and be able to play on the ball a great deal. He's done that before. We played Coleman there last year due to injuries. We played him a lot on the ball. It will look different, but I think we're going to be just fine in terms of our ability to be versatile. We're playing a little bit different style. We're not just pounding the ball into Kofi, so we're playing a little faster, up tempo, and we have multiple guys who can fit in.
Right. So how do things change in the front court, Coleman? You were the one to say Kofi's name first, not me, but right. We were going to get to him. He obviously was a huge part, literally and figuratively, of what you guys did. Give us a sense of how it's different for the front court players and how the team may look different in terms of the offensive approach.
Yeah, so I think last year it was easier for opponents to kind of see we were playing to high-low passes and stuff like that for Kofi, but I think now it's more of a randomness for players like me and Dane, where we can set flares or catch the ball up top and facilitate better. So I think it's just been it's been easier for me and Dane to be a part of a system where it's not kind of looking for certain passes or having to post up. It's more of kind of being ourselves, and defensively, I know I'm gonna be up for a challenge to guard fives. Dane will do a great job guarding fives, but different nights we'll have different schemes to guard guys. But I'm like I said, I'm a competitive player, so I'm gonna take pride in guarding some of the best centers in the country, in the league here, like Trace Jackson Davis, Zach Edey, Cliff, and all the guys down the list. So yeah.
We haven't really mentioned RJ Melendez. I want to get your take on him, Terrence. This feels like in this league last year, and I know you didn't play in it, but I mean we had some players make huge steps forward, right? Keegan Murray, Johnny Davis. There is a sense that RJ can be one of those guys this year. So give us a sense as a new teammate what you see from him.
From when I would say this, from when I first got here in May till now, I've seen tremendous progress. And RJ, within RJ, he's gotten way better. He's more aggressive now. He's shooting the ball a lot better. He's gotten tougher. He's starting to improve more on defense, and Coach Underwood is getting after him. And we got guys like me, Coleman, and Ty. Like we're competing with him, and I feel like that's making him a lot better.
I've never known Coach Underwood to get after anyone.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's not in my DNA at all.
It's a gross mischaracterization.
Just I'm always smiling and looking forward to a round of golf with you.
It's a ton of fun. Guys, looking forward to a great year from the Fighting Illini. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your time here in Minneapolis.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.